Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today we're unpacking a truly fascinating topic, which is the very architecture of individual cognition. We're going to look at the actual structural foundations of how your mind is built, and exactly why it operates the way it does. Okay, let's dive into this.
It's a question you've probably asked yourself when, say, a friend completely misinterprets a super simple text message, or when a colleague takes a wildly different approach to what you thought was a really straightforward project. Why does your mind work so differently from theirs? We usually kind of just assume everyone's baseline reality matches our own, right? But the research actually points to a much more complex, highly individualized reality. To understand this, we're going to follow a really clear roadmap, exploring the three pillars of how a unique mind is constructed. First, the mystery of cognition, followed by your genetic blueprint, the role of neuroplasticity in your environment, and finally, how all of this defines your unique cognitive style.
So, starting with part one, the mystery of cognition and the uniqueness of the human mind.
Think of the mind not as a computer that just comes pre-assembled in a box, but really more like custom architecture. Our source material gives us this absolutely crucial grounding truth. No two people have identical life experiences. And because no two people have the exact same encounters or environments, well, the baseline for every single human interaction is fundamentally different. When you speak to someone, you aren't just exchanging words. You are literally bridging a gap between two entirely distinct worlds. It's wild.
All right, part two, the genetic blueprint, the foundation. Let's move to this and see how it all builds. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that before you even have a single life experience, biology sets the stage. Your genetics actually lay down the initial architectural blueprint for several very specific traits. It guides your overall brain development and dictates your baseline neurotransmitter levels, meaning your natural levels of dopamine or serotonin are just different from mine, which physically alters how signals are processed in your head. Genetics also heavily influence memory capacity, how your attention is distributed, and your temperament, basically the emotional soil you grow from.
Moving on to part three, neuroplasticity and your environment, which is basically the construction phase.
See, a blueprint is really just a drawing, right? It isn't a building yet, and that's exactly where neuroplasticity comes into play. This is the phenomenon where the brain's physical structure is shaped by experiences, learning, and the environment. So the crucial point is, your brain isn't static hardware. Every single time you learn a new skill or experience something profound, the physical architecture of your brain is literally undergoing a microscopic renovation. We can actually see exactly how this construction happens in real time. First, step one, you have completely unique life experiences. Then, step two, your brain reacts to those environments by developing unique neural pathways. It's creating literal, physical routes for electrical signals based entirely on what you have specifically encountered. And then step three, this physical wiring dictates exactly how you process information. You don't just think differently, your brain is physically, structurally wired to solve problems differently than the person sitting right next to you. It's fascinating.
And that brings us to part four, defining your cognitive style, the operating system. If genetics are the blueprint and neuroplasticity is the construction, well, your cognitive style is the resulting operating system that you use every single day. And we see some really clear dichotomies emerge from this. And this brilliantly illustrates that, take visual versus verbal processing for instance. Some minds understand the world almost entirely through imagery and spatial relationships, while others rely heavily on language and audio. Or look at analytical versus intuitive thinking. An analytical mind breaks a problem down into tiny, logical steps, whereas an intuitive mind just absorbs the whole picture at once through rapid pattern recognition. Neither one is wrong, for sure. They are just different operating systems running on uniquely constructed hardware. These cognitive styles pretty much completely dictate how you interact with the world around you. This is exactly why you might, instantly click with a colleague who shares your analytical style, but then find yourself constantly clashing with a partner who navigates life intuitively. It's why you might argue over something as ridiculously simple as how to pack the trunk of a car. It's not that one of you is just being difficult, your cognitive architectures are just functioning exactly as they were built to. Understanding this absolutely shifts how we view human interaction as a whole. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with this to ponder. How is your unique architecture framing your reality today? Seriously, take a moment to think about your genetics, the specific environments that renovated your brain over time, and your daily operating system. How are all those invisible pathways dictating the way you see the world at this exact second? It's a lot to think about. Thank you so much for joining me, and keep exploring the incredible structure of your own mind.